But I feel like with Warrington, there's so much more. There's more attacking threat through the middle, through the halves, and through the second row. That might be that could be what swings it for Warrington. What do you think?
I'm surprised because it's like you're talking yourself into a prediction for Warrington. But
I want Hull FC to win. I'm going to predict for the Yorkshire team. I think that Warrington are probably favourites.
Again, you see, you don't let them go off on their own to flourish. You pull them back in. So
against the team from Cheshire, yes.
Yeah.
No, I want the Yorkshire team to win. Of course, I do. But I can.
I don't have a rose on this one.
They're going to have to play well.
I don't want either team to win. I wish Wigan were there, but we're not.
Right.
I think Warrington. I think Warrington will win this game. I think it's going to be won, like we're talking about, out of dummy half.
Yeah.
But more crucially, and I've said this a few times, Minicello's not the best defender.
No.
Is really not. And it's true. It's a truth.
That's a truth.
Similarly, I don't think Fanua on the other side or Tumabave always make the best defensive reads or decisions or efforts, let's say.
Yeah, there's
two channels there. The people you've got coming at those channels are an informed Ryan Atkins.
Yeah.
And if he plays to the form he's been playing at rather than his overall general level of permanent ability, then that's a threat. But more importantly, Ben Curry, who's got bags of everything.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you've got Jack Hughes running at it. And Westerman kind of tends out to that side as well.
Yeah.
I just think that's where it's going to be won and lost for me.
I agree. If Warrington play well in that part of the park, then they probably will win it.
I don't think there's going to be more than 10 points in the game, whichever way it goes.
It's going to be close.
And I hope it is close, and I hope it's exciting. I'm going to tip Warrington.
What, have you got a score in mind?
Not really.
Have you got a Lance Todd trophy winner in mind?
Lance Todd trophy winner will either be...
No, don't go either, because I want to pick a different one than you, because if we...
well, you're picking Hull FC to win.
Yeah, go on then, okay.
It's going to either be Ben Curry or Chris Hill, I think.
Right. Fair play. I'm going for a 21 points to 18 win in favour of the Early Birds, and as easy as it would be to pluck Danny Houghton or Mark Sneed out as Lance Todd winner, I'm going to go with my mate Gaz Ellis.
Yeah.
Big game from Gareth Ellis.
I tell you, the bloke who could change the game for them that you were talking about, the impetus, if it was going awry at any point, that'd be someone like a Frank Pritchard, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, there is.
They have got play. They've got more. Their bench is better, I think, than Warrington's bench.
Yeah, that's true.
In all likelihood, but when Chris Hill comes back onto the game after a 5-minute rest either side of half time, it's going to win it.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. And good luck to all the players taking part and travel safely to
both sets of fans as well.
Who's heading down there? Absolutely. Now we've got a lot of feedback from our listeners and their predictions. Mark, shall we take this in turns?
Yeah, sure. I'll start first with Lee Whitnall's got in touch. Lee says, history will record the 2016 Challenge Cup final as the Ryan Bailey final. Coming off the interchange bench, Ryan will score 6 crash ball tries in a crazy second half, pissing on young Tom Briscoe's short-lived record and securing glory for the mighty Wire. After the game, Ryan will give his winner's medal to a small orphan child whose thrilled face will be plastered all over the world's newspapers the following day. In years to come, when I take my 2 boys to Wembley and show them the golden statue of Ryan erected in 2020 following his knighthood, I'll be able to say, I was there. Get your house on it, lads.
There you go. You heard it here first, kids. Well, Paul Campbell, he got in touch with us, and he pulls no punches and certainly doesn't want to make friends on either side of this fence. He says it's going to be Wanky Wire 16, Fishheads FC 22, so he's pumping for a Hull victory. Tyler Cass fan.
What happened to...
Well, what I thought I'd do is all these little short ones, and then you could do Rich Wilkinson.
All right, okay.
See? And then I'll do Mark Dixon at the end. Tyler Cassvan says Challenge Cup prediction: Hull FC 22, Hull FC 28, Warrington 22, with Danny Houghton winning the Lance Todd. Andy Barden got in touch. Where's he been? Hiding himself. Good to hear from you, Andy. The electric gigolo himself. He says, I reckon Hull, and they will hit the post-cup final slump and then won't make the grand final. Chadwick got in touch. She said,
I hope so. I hope so, because that probably gives more chance for Wigan being a team in the grand final.
You would say so.
I'm sure Andy hopes the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Chadwick said 24-19 in favour of Hull FC. Chris Macy, Wire 28, Hull 16. He reckons Hill or Sandow to win the Lance Todd. Paul O'Brien says his prediction for the Challenge Cup final is Hull 24, Warrington 20. Hope it's a great game. My first visit to the new Wembley, and he's doing it in some style as well. Have you seen this?
No.
Paul's won himself Club Wembley and all sorts of tickets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's getting drinky poos and all sorts to start the game off. And Aidan Stalker says there will be a big hullabaloo and the game should go down to the wire, but there's no St Helens, so I don't give a fuck. Fair play. Cheers, Aidan.
Rich Wilkinson. Now then, lads. Here is my cup final preview. As a Leeds fan, I totally hate both these fucking teams. Wire are the smallest big club going, who have hardly won fuck all, but seem to think they're right on Leeds and Wigan's tails in the trophy stakes. They are still light years behind Saints, but that doesn't stop their deluded fans who spend every off-season loading up on Kool-Aid and bumming the shit out of each other, so much so that come February, it's always their fucking year.
Oh, man alive. I really wish you'd tell us how he really felt.
On to the codheads. Don't get me started on this book 2 feral swamp donkeys. They are hands down the biggest small club going
for all this shit, is he, Rich? Fucking hell.
Where every defeat is the ref's fault, their attendance is pretty shit and their ground is way too big. But when they get to Wembley, every black and white is a fucking diehard, even though they haven't been to a game since Wembley 2013. The reason why the 2013 Cup attendance was down is because half those inbred fuckers turned up at Cardiff. Enough of the pleasantries. Now on to the game. Lance Todd, whoever Jiffy has a bet on, I'm guessing Sando or Sam Tompkins. I hope it's Gaz Ellis. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Twice for me, as he's also left West Tigers. First try, Daz Clark. Winner. Either of these teams winning would be sickening, but I reckon Wire by plenty.
Hey, there you go. Fair play, Rich. And
that's a lot of hatred. A lot of hatred.
A lot of, yeah.
Enjoyable hatred, though.
Yeah, hilarious. Great stuff. Cheers, Rich. Mark Dixon says, I see a cagey first half with only 2 points in it, but with Hull's big forwards expending a lot of energy with a try piece in the corner and with Sneyd kicking the conversions, Hull will go in 6-4 up at half-time. As the second half continues, I see Hull's efforts starting to take a toll, and Warrington's quick ball and quick hands will pay off. I'm going for a 12-16 Warrington win. The caveat to that is the weather. If it's a wet, greasy pitch, like it was when Hull played Wigan in the final, it'll be Hull's day, as Warrington will make too many unforced errors. On a completely separate point, I have an Ask Dr. Bob. Great. Apparently we'll just come up with our own little sections for the show now.
Honestly, I pissed myself when I read this. I was walking home from work last Thursday or Friday, whenever it was, and I just creased up.
Well, we'll give it a run out, Mark, see if Bob deigns to answer us. I'll point out that I think he might be on holiday because he's not been in touch this week.
He is on holiday, yeah.
There we go. He says...
Hopefully he'll find some time to download the show, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You might be able to get him off holiday. So the Ask Dr. Bob from Mark Dixon is, I'm nearly 42 years old and have never experienced cramp. I thought I had cramp once, but I tore my calf muscle. I suspect I'm some sort of superhuman, like Wolverine or Captain America. Could Dr. Bob confirm this, or at least explain why I don't get cramp? My first question would be, how much exercise do you get, Mark?
I don't think it's
difficult to get cramp if you're, not moving around much.
No, I don't know, but I don't think it's an out-of-shape chap.
Maybe, it could be some sort of superhuman like Wolverine or Captain America.
Amazing. He did pick up on something, actually, that we didn't cover.
Go on.
A deciding factor, maybe, in a close game would be goal kicking, and we didn't talk about that. And if you're backing
Sneyd,
one goal kicker over the other, it's Sneyd over Gidley, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you have a bet now whether or not any of the BBC commentators go as nuts about Sneyd as Eddie does?
No, because they don't. They won't. No. They might give it. Dave Woods will give it a passing mention. It's like a jolly little thing that happens. He won't start actually shouting at himself and then egging everyone else onto doing it. Totally embarrassing the coverage and the idea of any sort of neutrality or they get slagged off for having a few ex-Wiganers on the list, but they're far more fucking balanced than Eddie seems to be when he's chosen his teams. Although I don't know, he'll have one of them friendship scarves this week, won't he, being a Warrington fan? But but obviously loving Hull FC so much this year.
It'll be hard work, won't it? Yeah. Okay.
It's still buzzing after they knocked Wigan out, I suppose. I think that's mostly what it is.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yuck. Okay, Championship Game of the Week then, Mark. Championship Shield Game of the Week. What have you picked out for us?
Full round of fixtures in the Championship Shield, Tom. I don't know why you didn't mention this earlier on. I didn't know you're not more excited about your Bulls on the rampage.
I'll wait till next season.
Swinton Workington, obviously, isn't it?
I'll probably go to the plate final. Let's put it that way.
Swinton Workington's the big game this week.
It is.
If Swinton win, then it's kind of done and dusted. Almost, you can almost say it'd be 6 points with 3 games left. If Workington win, then it's interesting.
It certainly
is.
Very good. Okay, and in League One, you've picked out the Scholars versus to win.
Well, it's the only game of the round. They've moved it forward from there.
I see.
Round 3 of their fixtures to now. Moved it back, because of the Wembley factor. So there'll be rugby league fans in London. So if you're in London on the Friday, then get to is it White Hart Stadium?
I don't know. I thought it was. You remember last week? I thought they played behind them buildings.
3G pitch or whatever they've got anyway, wherever they are. We should know this sort of stuff.
You'll have to do a bit of research, kids, but it's there if you want it.
Yeah. So you can get along.
Fantastic. What have you picked out for us in the NRL?
Titans versus Panthers on Saturday. The winner of that is guaranteed to be in the 8, and Warriors against Tigers on Sunday. The loser of that is guaranteed to not make the 8.
Important stuff.
In fact, if the Titans win against the Panthers, then it's irrelevant. So there might only be one NRL pick if the Titans win.
Oh, there you go. We'll see. We could amend that then. Right. Well, that's your Super League pod taken care of and Rugby League covered for this week. All that remains for us to do now is wrap up the show. Okay, so tons of feedback, tons of previews, tons of news, and tons of cup final stuff in this week's Super League pod.
Do you remember when we said it was going to be a quick one?
Yeah, I don't want to have I never want to have a quick one.
Fair enough.
With you, I always want to drag it out and meander and just to see where we go. SLP recommends. I will suspect that it's some kind of northeast based recommends from you this week. Prove me wrong.
I've got a couple of things.
Go ahead.
The first one is northeast based in Durham. We went to a pub called the Head of Steam, which is sort of up a side street that's not really a side street between two buildings. It's not obvious from the main road, but when you find it, it's got a very wide range of international beers going on. I was a little bit annoyed at the ale choices, so I stuck to the sort of keg kind of American ones and that sort of thing. But it was decent. But the burger we both had, me and Emma both had burgers there, and the burger was amazing. Like one of the best burgers I've ever had in this country. So credit there. It was just a cheeseburger, but it was really good.
Had a Steam in Durham.
Yeah,
if you're in that neck of the woods. Fantastic.
Didn't seem like a great ale town.
I'm trying to wrap my brains. I've in a previous profession spent some time in the northeast on conferences and stuff.
Yes, Palmos.
Well, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, in Durham, I'm trying to remember the name of the pub, and it's something to do with a judge or something like that. I'll have to have a look. But we, after like one of these work bonding things, got
the Bishop
taken out. Might be
Bishop Langley, I think it's
that
called.
Could
right
be it,
right on the river.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and we went in there. And it was very good. Anything else you want to recommend this week? Yeah,
the other thing is it's the NFL season on the sort of coming up as it is now, and we're only 3 weeks away from meaningful NFL action. I'm very excited. I've booked my days off around Steelers night games and stuff for the rest of the year, that sort of thing. But Hard Knocks has started.
Right.
Now, I don't think it's available for Sky TV subscribers until when the actual season starts. But I have Game Pass, so I can get all the NFL coverage now, basically. So I've been watching it. I caught up on it today, actually. I had a day off work. And it's following the LA Rams this year, who have moved back to LA from St. Louis in the off-season. So it's really quite interesting. And they had the number 1 overall pick in the draft after a trade from last year. So that's an interesting storyline as well, isn't it? There's a few things going on like that. It's quite good. So anyone who's interested in the NFL, watch that. If you like the NRL rookie, apart from the sort of bullshitty voting process,